These first couple of cards in Project 70 are nothing like the first cards in Project 2020, but do not go broke buying the first card thinking they're gonna be the next Ichiro Bin Baller, the next Koufax Rochester, or the next Ermsy Trout. So here we are, day number 1 of this incredible journey called Project 70. And welcome to episode number 2 of the Project 70 show. My name is Chris, otherwise I'm on Twitter and Instagram is at CRT_sportscards. And my website, crtsportscards.com, is where you're gonna wanna go now and in the future for everything regarding Project 70. And if you're a long-term fan of Project 2020, obviously go to there for everything related to Project 2020. But when you jumped on the website today from Topps, what was your first immediate thought? When I jumped on the website today, it was like, I'm back home. It's another day of releases of a print on demand product, 3 cards to buy from Topps.com, and it just felt like it was December 24th, the day after Project 2020 ended. But with Topps releasing just 3 cards today, I theorized on last video we might see 4 to 5 per release per day because the set is so large. But with only 3 cards per day, there is now one gigantic question Topps may never answer this entire year or this entire set, but is how long is this set going to go on? When you talk about 3 cards per day, over 1,020 cards, that is 68 weeks of content to be released, and we think that Project 70 is only going to run the course of the year. So when are they going to speed up the clock? When are they going to go to 4 releases? When are they going to go to 5? But for now, it's 3 releases, and look, if it does go 68 weeks, I will be completely gray by then, and my Natural collection from Project 2020 will be considered vintage. So let's wait and see how this goes, but I really hope it does wrap up this year. But at the moment, we are now into week 1 of 68 weeks of content. But let's be real here, 68 weeks of content potentially is an eternity right now when you think about it. And having to jump on the Topps website every single day to figure out what got released, what artists got released, what players, it's a very difficult and arduous task to do on an everyday basis. And so for right now on my website, up until the artist's first card ends for sale, I am offering up an entire artist set of 20 cards, their entire run, for $480. What that'll get you is 5 shipments throughout the year, every time I get 4 cards in, and I'll have everything tracked in the website for you to access and see what I have in hand. I'll be very clear with communication. I will then mail you 4 cards every time I get them in, and then if I do happen to find one of the out of 70 rainbow foils, or if I do happen to hit a gold, those are obviously in play for you as a customer. So jump on the website, it's just $480. And if you do want to pick up 2 artists, there's a code, use CRT25, and that'll save you $25 on a second player or second artist set throughout the year. And if you have any questions, of course, reach out to me on Twitter or leave a comment below. But this way it saves you time and the hassle of jumping on the Topps website every single day. But now let's talk about the cards. Let's talk about the cards that released today. Card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. Now leading off, just like he did in Project 2020, with card number 1 in Project 70 is Bin Baller, and I have to say, he must have the best PR team to lock down not only the number 1 spot in Project 2020, but now in Project 70. But his first card is this 1988 Topps-inspired Mookie Betts. Obviously, the Dodgers just won the World Series. He's from California. This card makes a lot of sense. But when you think back to his Project 2020 releases, the only really way that I know of Bin Baller, this card lacks really everything that we've come to know about Bin Baller. Yes, his logo is on it, but there's no diamonds, there's no sparkles. But when you think about 1988 Topps, it is kind of a boring, bland kind of release. So maybe it's fitting that there isn't diamonds and studs on this card. But when you take a look at this card compared to his other 20 releases from last year, very much off the wall. But I know right now your question is very simple. How many cards did this sell on eBay after the release this afternoon? This is actually the 3rd lowest card today. It is sold only 6 copies on eBay. I'm wondering right now if there is some pullback from people not buying these bin baller cards at the beginning, because one thing we know from last year's set is a majority of his cards are worth well below retail just because his print runs are so very high. But now taking a look at the second card that released, this is the most familiar card that we have seen so far in Project 70 compared to last year. A couple of things here. It is by Ermsy. Ermsy was an enormous fan favorite, and he had the attention of collectors basically the entire set of Project 2020. He owns also, of course, the most iconic card with his Mike Trout, but here he is releasing his Fernando Tatis, a card, a player that could really take this set to the next level. We are going to see newer and younger players in the set, which is going to be a great addition because it's going to bring a different audience into the crowd. Not necessarily the veteran crowd, but now you have the modern day collector in this set. But if you say, hey Chris, this card looks very similar, it does, because we had 1955 tops in Project 2020 with Sandy Koufax and Roberto Clemente. But when you take a look at Ermsy, Tatis, obviously the split head, the design, this is everything you want with Ermsy. This is just another fantastic design. It's a very similar take to his other cards last year, but it's a great way to start with Tatis, and the fans have responded. Already 39 copies have sold on eBay after one single day. So I would say a very, very strong start out of the gates. That is our #1 selling card after just a couple of hours. And then batting third today in the initial release day of Project 70 is an artist that none of us have seen before when it comes to this print-on-demand product, but DJ Skee, someone who I don't really know that much about, but I'm interested to learn more about him and his artwork. He releases a 2018 Topps-inspired Babe Ruth. And when you take a look at this card, and then you extrapolate it out to the entire set, releasing this card on the first day, look, you have the background image of Yankee Stadium. You've got sort of the blueprints. And of course, Babe Ruth is truly the blueprint of the Yankees. The Yankees are not what they are today if it isn't for Babe Ruth. And then when you take a look at Project 70, what this set could potentially become, these 3 cards are going to be the early blueprints for the set. If the set is ultimately successful, it is because these first 3 cards are successful. If this set fails to take off, it's because these cards didn't take off. We will see. It's too early to tell, but I thought it was a great way to see Babe Ruth on day #1 with a really new era card, 2018 Topps, by an artist that we had never seen before, DJ Skee. But did the fans like this card? After a couple of hours, this card has sold just 9 copies on eBay. So a real big gulf here when it comes to the top seller for the day versus the second and third card. 39 to 9 to 6 is a big divide. So we'll see what these print runs are at the end of the day. It's going to be very interesting to see if there's sort of any correlation to Project 2020 print runs, to Project 70, to period totals. A lot of things to figure out. But remember, these cards are available for 70 hours, nearly 3 days, compared to last year where they were only available for 48 hours. With that, I hope you have a fantastic evening. I hope you enjoyed the first cards in Project 70. I can't wait for the cards tomorrow, and I'll see you guys back in a couple of days for episode number 3 of the Project 7070 show.